We will be exploring Duskmourn House of Horrors. Will it be epic horror genre or just horrible? Follow us as we check out both the product, the treatments, and maybe also some interesting products that you should consider buying. Let's check it out.
First up is your pre-release pack. And this is what gives you access to pre-release parties in your local LGS so you can play sealed with your friends a little bit before the actual release of the set. That's why it's called a pre-release pack. The kicker in these packs is to find rare or mythic rare card that will be one of those in each pre-release pack. So if you get the right mythic stamped card, you might just be really lucky.
Bundles is a really interesting product because it's not quite your pre-release pack because you get more stuff in a bundle, but otherwise it doesn't have the same price point as a full booster box. So for a lot of people, this is a great sort of intermediary product. This time around, like we've seen previously, we're going to get two versions of the bundle. There's going to be your regular bundle, and then there's going to be something that's called the Nightmare Bundle, which has some really cool packaging and cool stuff inside, which we will explore in just a minute. If we all remember back to Phyrexia OWB1, it had a super cool bundle. It had the complete bundle, which had raised foil oil slick cards, and these, both the lands but also the cards that you could pull from this special booster, really had some nice value, and they were also just super cool to look at. For this set of Duskmourn House of Horror, there will be this very special Nightmare Bundle. Let's check out the bundles.
But before we go into the bundles, let us know what you look forward to in Duskmourn. Is this going to be the set for you, or are you closing the door on this House of Horror? In a normal bundle, you're going to get 9 play boosters, you're going to get 15 non-foil basic lands, 15 foil basic lands, and 1 big spin down counter. You're also going to get the box that the bundles come in, and this box is very great for storage in your cards. With increasing prices of Magic products, bundles seems like the sweet spot to pay for getting into Magic without paying too much. But remember that even though bundles seem cheaper than buying a full box of Magic the Gathering, you need to remember that if you're splitting a box with a friend, you're actually paying less per pack if you're buying a full booster box. So buy the bundles if you want to get basic lands and have a great place to store your cards.
And now we come to the special bundle for this set. This bundle is called the Nightmare Bundle, and it's quite a bit different, not even just from the regular bundles, but also from the usual gift bundles we see in sets such as Modern Horizons 3, where you had just a single collector booster. This time around, in the Nightmare Bundle, you are actually getting 6 play boosters and 2 collector boosters from the set. And that's pretty cool because if you want to just have a little taste of that special collector's edition, but it doesn't stop there. You're also going to have a Nightmare booster. This Nightmare booster can only be found in the Nightmare Bundle. It will have some very special art. There's going to be a 1 out of 3 alternate art cards, and you're also going to get a chance at some very special treatments that will be exclusive to the Nightmare Bundle. You're of course also going to be getting a special spin down, and this one is a glow in the dark to fit the theme and everything. It does seem like this might be the better option, because even though you're getting fewer regular play boosters, that extra inclusion of the second collector booster pack might be worth it to you, especially if you want the cool packaging, the Nightmare booster, and it doesn't seem like the price is that different right now. So if you have the opportunity and you really love this set, I think you might consider snagging this product both as a collectible but also as a playable thing that you might want to hold on to.
If you're getting any value out of this video, leave a like, a little comment, and also consider becoming a subscriber of the channel. Thank you. A play booster box contains 36 play booster packs, and each play booster pack contains 14 cards. This is the standard if you want to play sealed, if you want to play draft in your local LGS. On the box side you can see Kato opening the door into the House of Horrors, and that is because Nashi, the son of Tamio, has gone missing after entering the hidden secret door into the House of Horrors. A search party has been sent out, and our group of heroes are looking for Nashi. On the box you can also see that Simone and Nashi is actually together, so spoiler warning, they probably find him rather quickly. From here we guess the big challenge for the group of heroes will be finding their way out of the House of Horror. And speaking of horrors, it's interesting to see that the play boosters seems like they have become accepted by the player community. When the set and draft boosters were discontinued by the Wizard of the Coast and combined into the play boosters, there was a lot of outrage because these play boosters also came with a little price increase. But it seems now that the player community have accepted the play boosters, and that might just be because if you want to play Magic, the play boosters is the way to go. There's no other option.
This is going to be your standard collector box with 12 packs and 15 cards in each of those 12 packs. This pack looks pretty freaky. We have a huge lurking monster above a doorway looking pretty darn scary, and it looks to be the same monster that we find on all of the full art lands. This collector box comes with a bit of extra value though. On Wizard's website you can read that you should, if you buy a box, either play booster or collector box, get a collector booster pack. So potentially, if that's going to hold true, that should be a lot of extra added value for buying one of these boxes.
The usual suspects are back with Duskmourn, and that is of course the Commander decks. We've seen that Commander decks have become a staple with every release, and Duskmourn is none different. This time around we are also getting 4 Commander decks. One is horror monster specific, and the 3 others are centered around the heroes in the story of Duskmourn. But even though the Commander decks have become a staple, this time around we see something new in the Commander decks that hitherto have not been seen in the format. First up is the deck Miracle Worker. In this deck you see a Minotaur as the commander for the deck, and it's Esper colored. The flavor text says that she sees the future, cast miracles. So we would expect that this deck might actually have the miracle mechanic. The miracle mechanic is that the first card you draw each turn, if that card has a miracle cost, you may cast the card for the miracle cost, and that miracle cost is usually a lot cheaper than the normal casting cost for the card. Next up is Death Toll. This is a Golgari colored commander deck, and Winter is the commander. It looks like to be the usual run-of-the-mill Golgari deck where you fill your graveyard and reanimate big evil monsters from the grave. So a standard Golgari deck. Endless Punishment is the monster-focused deck out of 4 commander decks. It is Rakdos colored, and it looks like it's going to have a lot of big evil monsters. The flavor text says, punish your opponents, make them pay. It's probably going to have a lot of ping damage, maybe some forced sacrifice or life loss. We know that the commander is Valgavoth. Good luck saying that. And it looks to be a big evil demon. The last deck is Jumpscare, and this deck seems to be casting some instants and sorceries and using face down mechanics to win over your opponents. Simone is the commander of this deck, and it's probably not going to be the best of the decks, I could fear, because face down has so far not been one of the most powerful mechanics, even though we have seen some of the new cards coming into recent sets that are using the face down mechanic.
So the new inclusion that we teased earlier is going to be Arch Enemy. Arch Enemy is a casual Magic the Gathering format where you join together a group of players to play another player. The 3 players usually together will sort of have a combined life total, and you fight the arch enemy. So the player playing the arch enemy will have a higher life total, and they will have some scheme cards, and each of the 4 decks in this cycle will include 10 scheme cards, because then the player playing the arch enemy gets to do some different things and turn the game around in different ways. This is a casual format that's pretty fun to play, and I think it's a great inclusion in the commander deck, and there's been done a lot of changes to the original rules, because usually it's played with a 60 card deck. All that you can read on Magic the Gathering's website under Arch Enemy. And of course, we will also have some double-sided tokens and the usual alternate commander that will also be a legendary foil in the deck in case you don't like the face commander on the commander deck. The commander decks will also include 1 helper card, the deck box, which isn't usually of much value because it's super flimsy. There will also be a life wheel, and last but not least, you do get a tiny sample collector pack with 2 cards in it. This set of course also has some really cool and funky treatments, so let's just have a look at those.
These full art lands are called full art mana lands, and that's because the entire set is actually just taking place in one plane, and this plane is the House of Horror. So the mana lands depicts the inside of this House of Horror. They look kind of good, they are kind of, scary and evil looking, but unfortunately I think there's not much difference between many of the mana lands if you take the color away. Another treatment we're going to see is the double exposure. The idea behind the double exposure treatment is that you take a snapshot with an old camera and suddenly something else is showing on the picture that you couldn't see yourself. The double exposure looks pretty darn good, and I love the flavor behind them. We're also going to see the textured foil double exposure, and these are collector packs exclusive. Unfortunately, I don't like the textured foil double exposure because they look really dark. Right now we've only seen one example of the textured foil double exposure, and that is the Wanderer, and she's a white card. but the card looks almost black. It's very reminiscent of the double feature we saw from Innistrad, and I don't like that art treatment, and I don't think a lot of players are going to either.
Of course, it wouldn't be a Magic product if there weren't more variants to choose from. You're also going to see the paranormal. The paranormal has this really sort of neon colors and look all sketchy and weird, like you see when they're trying to detect paranormal activities on those cameras. That treatment will also be both in play and collector boosters. We're also going to have the mirror scenes, and these are also showing some creepy monsters appearing on the cards, which will also be in both the collector and the play booster. Last but certainly not least will be the special guest. They will also be in both products, and so far we've only seen one special guest, which will be Collected Company, which is a really powerful new reprint. We also have the Japan Showcase. These are really interesting, and there's also a special version of it. The Japan Showcase will have regular foil, but there will also be a new foil, because this is also something Wizards are doing a lot. They are having a new foil in each and every set. This time around, it will be the Fracture foil. This is really super glittery, super overpowering to the art, so I think it will really depend on the card if it looks nice or not. And even the frame of the card will have a foil border, and I believe that's the first time that's happening.
Are you more interested in Duskmourn after having seen this video, or has this video confirmed that the set is definitely not for you? If it is not for you, check out this video up here where you can see all of the other sets coming in 2024.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all of our really cool, awesome people on Patreon and YouTube that support us each and every day, and we really appreciate and love that support. We couldn't do it without you, and we hope you will be back for another video. See you in the next one.